I want to give the definition of the word infirmity, which is a physical weakness or ailment or a moral ailment. And number 2, the definition of the word issue. There's a couple of definitions that I wrote here that I had never heard before. The first is something flowing out, and the second is a place of outflow. When we've always spoken about an issue, we always pretty much thought of it as a circumstance, a matter to be handled. I had never heard these particular definitions for that. So the fact that the woman with the issue of blood is how she's referenced. And then I looked up the word issue, and it said something flowing out. I'd never seen that before. Never. Something else that I wanted to look up, and I did, was what does blood do? It says blood brings oxygen and nutrients to all parts of the body so that they can keep working. But she was losing blood. This has been 12 years. Constant flow. It says one of the key functions of blood is protection. This woman was losing blood constantly for 12 years. And nobody could figure out why. We know in these days, if you lose large amounts of blood, it could cause a lot of other issues that could instantaneously kill you. Your body could go into shock. Your blood pressure, it has issues with, it could send you into a stroke. If your blood pressure decreases, that usually means your heart rate will increase. All types of things. But this woman had this issue for 12 years, okay? And she did not die. She had the ailment for 12 years and did not die. And it made me think about this. Sometimes God will allow us to have an ailment that is fatal, but allow us to live with it for a certain period of time so that the audience around is so large that they see him work what could only be a miracle. What could only be a miracle. Nobody could figure out what this woman's issue was. They couldn't stop it. Yet she did not die. She was losing blood for 12 years constantly and did not die. Yet she managed to be in the area where there is crowds of people, literally crowds just ready to see him. A lot of the people were curious. She was intentional. She had an intention to touch what was connected to him for her healing. She didn't even fight to get in front. She knew that if she just touched what was connected to him, that she would receive her healing. I know she had to have been on the ground scooting or crawling, but she stretched herself. Just enough to touch the hem or the fringe of his garment to get her healing, because she knew She knew that if she was just to touch what was connected to him, that she was going to get her healing. You heard when he said, someone deliberately touched me, for I felt healing power go out from me. And she realized that she couldn't stay hidden anymore. She couldn't stay hidden anymore. But her intention to touch the hem of his garment spoke to him about her faith. It spoke to him about her faith. And he said, daughter, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Go in peace. Now, mind you, as soon as she touched him, her bleeding had already stopped. But he made it a point. He made it, he made it a point to find out who, although of course this is Jesus, he knew. And because of her faith, he stopped and spoke. He spoke into her. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Go in peace. To me, that had to have been the ultimate send-off. To hear Jesus say, daughter, for one. Daughter, daughter, daughter. Your faith has made you well. So it's not that the bleeding just stopped, but you are well. You are completely well. Completely well. And I'm telling you to now go in peace. To now go in peace. Imagine how she felt. Imagine how she felt. Not only did she receive her healing from just touching what was connected to him, but she got what she probably wasn't even expecting. For him to turn and speak into her. That's an overflow. That's an overflow. You know what I'm saying? That's an overflow. Because our faith, of course, because we cannot please God without our faith. So it is our faith that causes us to be healed. Whatever the infirmity is. Whether it's a physical infirmity or spiritual, emotional, mental infirmity. It is our faith that causes us to become healed. Period. But this woman got the overflow, and she had Jesus speak into her before she left, because I know she had to have been afraid when he was asking, who wouldn't be? You know, who touched me? When she realized she couldn't stay hidden. She couldn't stay hidden. It said she began to tremble and fell to her knees in front of him. And she began to give the explanation. She began to give the explanation as to why she had touched him. In front of the crowd. So I know Jesus had true compassion on her. And he was glorified in that. He was glorified in that. Blessed God. Sometimes he'll leave us with an infirmity for a lengthy period of time, just so the crowd can see him do what we already know he's capable of doing. But what some